What if I told you that the way that you see the world will completely transform your daily experiences? Every word you speak is catering to how you walk through the world, and this can literally alter your entire life experience. So today, we're going to go deep into how your perspective can change your life. Welcome back to Build with Bella, the podcast where I help you become the most self-loving, best, most confident version of yourself. Today, I'm going to teach you everything that you guys need to know about mastering your mind, changing perspective, and getting your life back on track, all through mindset. So without further ado, let's get into it. Chapter number 1 is stop complaining. And I know you hear this all the time, but I truly believe that this is something that we all struggle with, and it's one of those things that we know we shouldn't do, but as soon as life gets hard and things kind of start feeling like they might be against you, maybe you're going through some hardship, it's just so easy to complain and to make things feel worse than they are, and it's so easy to just dig yourself deeper into a hole. So when you're speaking that much negativity into the world, it's attracting more negative experiences to you. So the more that you tell yourself that you're gonna have a bad day, you wake up, maybe like your back hurt, and then you got up and you just looked at your phone right away, and then you just kind of like neglected yourself, that usually leads into a worse day because the actions you chose to do aligned with your mindset. You kind of have to learn how to detach your mind from your physical body sometimes, because our minds do not always lead us in the right direction, and most of the time they don't, right? Because when we don't feel good, our first natural instinct is to just lay down and just binge watch TV all day, don't worry about eating healthy, don't move your body. And trust me, girl, there are some days when I feel like doing the same thing. But if you align yourself to those actions through the complaints that you make, you're not going to feel better. And then you're just going to give yourself more things to complain about. So this is just not a cycle we ever want to be in. And playing victim in your own life just keeps you in a consistent loop of disappointment. Like, when you give power to the wrong things that you have control over, that is a very dangerous game to play. That is a very dangerous situation to be in, because you're literally giving away everything you need to succeed. And you're just like, oh, this happened to me, and oh, this is terrible, and oh, woe is me. No, okay? That mindset is so unbelievably terrible, and you keep repeating the same negative cycles when you just play victim. It's like a get out of jail free card, but the thing is that then you don't learn the lesson you're supposed to learn, and you don't become the person who you're supposed to become after the experience. Everything in our life is an experience that we are supposed to have. It is individually tailored to who you are, what you need to go through at the right time. And it might not feel right to you. Most of the times, the things that we achieve when we achieve them, and the things we go through when we go through them, are not at the times that we want to. But that is not up to us. It's the lessons we learn. We have to understand that we are in the front seat, but there is also so many things that happen in our life that are so unexpected, and we have to just always be kind of prepared for that. And instead of using that as a victim card, you use that to gain knowledge and gain understanding about yourself and the world, and that will make you so much better equipped. And you guys can't be complaining and then expect better than what you're getting. It's so unbelievably fascinating to me how many people complain about, I don't have enough money, I'm this, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm terrible, I'm not smart enough. But then they expect that they just should be handed these things. They should just be given more money. They should just magically lose the weight. Whatever it is. People think that we expect better, but we don't put in the work and we don't put in the effort to be better. You cannot just speak it and not put it into existence. You need to have action. And a lot of the times, we don't like to focus on how we can be improving, right? If you are struggling financially, where are your finances going? Like, can you even trace back what you were doing with your money before, right? Like, how much a week are you spending on things that you maybe can cut down on? How many days a week are you eating out? How many times a week are you going to a fancy dinner when you can't really afford to? So we really need to just be better at holding ourselves accountable. Because the more you can hold yourself accountable and say, you know what, I'm a little tight on money right now, and I've been spending a lot of money going out and eating. Maybe we can cut back and we don't have to do this as much. And then we'll save, like, I don't know, $100 a month or whatever it is. We don't want to face our decisions, and that's making us make worse decisions. Is when we stop caring about, okay, like, maybe I am in the wrong here. We need to be able to correct ourselves. And if you are constantly complaining and you're constantly playing victim, you're not correcting yourself. You're basically just re-evaluating that behavior and putting it on a different plate and trying to make it look like it's not yours. It is yours. Everything in your life is your responsibility. And if you cannot own up to that, then of course life is going to take hold of you and it's going to make the decisions for you. So if you don't want that, you need to step up and learn how to make your own decisions and stop complaining and stop playing the victim in your life, because that will get you nowhere. That will not show you anything you have not already seen. That will not get you to any place you have not already been. You need to do different actions and learn how to speak different words if you want different results. And this does lead me into chapter number 2, which is all about how to stop playing victim in your life and why this is one of the most important mindset shifts you could ever make throughout your entire life. The first thing I want to make very clear to you guys is that you are not on the sidelines in your life. You are front dead center. Everything in your life, you are front dead center. You need to start acting like that, okay? A lot of times we act like life is happening to us and not for us, and then we really bog ourselves down and we put this unnecessary pressure on ourselves that just buries us deep into this hole that we can't get out of, and we're so scared and we're so, oh my gosh, like the world is just such a big scary place and I don't know where I am and I don't know what I'm doing. And if you start letting yourself spiral out of control like that consistently, you are never going to get anywhere. You are never going to become the successful person you are supposed to be. Life is always teaching you. Life is never against you. Even when the absolute worst things happen, that is not a sign that you should give up. That is not a sign that the life is against you. That is not a sign that anything is working against you. There's always something working for you. And I totally understand. In these moments, it's basically almost impossible to look at your terrible situation and say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad this is happening. I cannot wait to see what this teaches me. I get it. But it's the people who go through negative experiences and then relive them over and over and over and over again after they could have learned the first time, right? And a great example is heartbreaks. Literally every single person on the planet is going to have a heartbreak if they want to pursue a relationship, depending on what their goals are in the future. To find your perfect person, you will have to go through multiple people to get to where you want to be with someone else, with your dream person, because that's how you build the version of you who knows what they want and is assertive in, this is the kind of partner I am aiming for. It's the same thing with anything in life. If you went through a tragic heartbreak and you just wallowed in it and you let it consume you and you didn't learn any lessons from that breakup, and then the next person that came along into your life who was better and healthier for you, you would still just repeat those patterns and you would become the toxic one and you would sabotage your own relationships, and then you would probably blame it on the universe and probably blame it on them and play the victim anyways. So this, like I said, can be implied into literally any area of life, and we tend to do this a lot as people, is we take things so personally that, oh, this is happening to me, and it's only happening to me because the universe just hates me, and I don't know why bad things just keep happening to me over and over and over again. But they keep happening to you over and over and over again is because you're never learning from something you were supposed to learn from years ago. That's why it keeps happening. It's so blatantly obvious to me now when I see someone or I talk to someone and they're explaining their situation, but they've explained the same situation 5 times with 5 different people, and they're still being taught the same lesson because they refuse to learn from it. So, please, guys, you need to learn that life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. And sometimes it's happening for you in painful ways. And you are going through terrible things and they hurt and it's real and the pain is there and the suffering is there. But if the only terrible part about that is you continuing to live in it every single day and you never even try to get yourself out, that suffering is only suffering if you let it linger in your life forever. Okay? I really want to let that sink in, okay? It is only suffering if you let it consume you forever. Let it be sad. Let it hurt. But you need to be able to get yourself up and moving again. If you just let every single little negative thing consume you ever, we would never get anywhere in life. Ever. Nobody would. We would be in the exact same place we were 10 years ago. I literally can't imagine. My life would be so unbelievably different if I had let my adversities and my heartbreaks and my terrible, worst, ugliest moments get to me. I would not be where I am. This podcast would not exist. My social media account would not exist. The relationships that I have would not exist. Me being confident and presenting myself in the way I do would not exist. Job opportunities that I have would not exist. So, truly, those things serve me because I chose to let them serve me. I let those heartbreaks be a part of me, but I let them be a good part of me. Because now I know what I'm looking for and I know how to be a good partner. Or I know how to control my mind and master my emotions in difficult situations now. I do not let those things consume me, and now I am very educated in myself, in what I want, and what I'm looking for, and what I'm going for. We can all have that. Everybody on this planet can have that and has had hundreds of thousands of opportunities to learn that. But it's just a fact of when are you going to stop playing victim and actually take control of your life and learn that your decisions will impact your future. They will impact who you become. They will impact how you view yourself. They will impact the amount of money you'll be able to attract, the people you'll be able to attract, the opportunities. So stop speaking negative things about your life and about yourself, because those things are keeping you on a low level. That is the only thing that is separating you from the people who you admire. Is that you continue to just think of low vibrational, shameful experiences and you refuse to go past them when those people who you admire, they have gone through all their adversities and they have chosen to learn from them, and that is why they're up there and you are still down there. You playing a victim is just making it harder for you to succeed. If you choose to not learn the lesson, you're making it harder for yourself. You think you're making it easier for yourself when you sit there and you think, oh my gosh, life is so messy, life is so hard, and these are not unhealthy things to think, okay? Life can get messy. Life can get hard. Life sucks sometimes. It's true. But you make it harder for yourself to succeed when that's all you hyperfixate on. Even in difficult moments, you can still find beautiful things. And through those tiny little moments of relief and gratitude, you can start to learn and adapt quicker. And so truly, your success depends on how you treat yourself in your worst moments. And it depends on how willing you are to learn from the experiences and the mistakes that you've made in life instead of just try to bury them and hide them away. Because even though you think you're hiding them, the universe knows what you're doing. It sees that. And it will not let you attract or gain anything from your life if you keep repeating negative patterns. Chapter number 3 is don't neglect negativity. Learn how to approach it. There's this whole toxic positivity thing going on the internet when everyone is just like, you know what? Even though things are hard right now, let's just pretend that nothing's wrong and blah, blah, blah. And like, oh my gosh, like, it doesn't matter. Just be oblivious. Everything's fine. Everything's perfect. That is not what we're doing. Okay? I am very much against not being in tune with your emotions. I think you should say it how it is. I truly think you should say it how it is. If you're going through a hard time, I think you should say that. If you're struggling with something, I think you should say that. If you are in a low point in your life, I think that's okay to say that and to state that. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because that's not what having a negative perception is. Okay? You experiencing life and feeling real human emotions is not you having a negative perception. And I think everyone on the internet has created this really toxic atmosphere where even on your worst days, you're supposed to give 110%. You're supposed to grind. You're supposed to act like nothing's wrong. You're supposed to show up in the same way. You're supposed to hyperfixate on everything and just be super focused. And I don't believe that that's true. I really don't believe that is the way we are wired and the way that we're meant to be living. And that's not having a good perspective, because if you go too far on the negative side and if you go too far on the positive side, both ways are not good. And they're both not going to get you what you want. Nobody is happy all the time. Happy is just like any other emotion, okay? Happiness is nothing special. We tend to put it on a pedestal. Just think about it like every other single emotion. It comes and it goes. It fluctuates. Some days you're just not happy, and it doesn't mean you're sad. You're just not happy. You're just not ecstatic. That's fine. Get on with your day. It's fine. Because you guys, it's okay to go through negative experiences and have negative thoughts about yourself and have negative thoughts in general. Most of our thoughts are negative during the day. Like 80% of our thoughts are actually negative because of the way that our brain is wired. It's literally wired to pick out the worst things. So we are more prepared, so we're more aware. And so we think we have more tools in case something goes sideways than we already know what could go wrong. So it's literally a mechanism that our brain uses to protect ourselves, which in this day and age, we don't need as much of anymore. But it's how you entertain those thoughts and it's how you approach them that changes everything, right? There are still days when I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I don't really look good today. Like I don't feel very confident. I feel kind of bloated. Or it could literally be like, you know what, I'm just so demotivated with my social media, or I'm demotivated with my podcast. I still wake up and have those thoughts. I still have those negative emotions. I still have those feelings that I'm not where I should be. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I still have those thoughts. But the thing about that is I don't let those thoughts linger for more than 5 minutes tops. Okay? So if I look in the mirror and I notice that I'm like picking all the negative things that I think about myself, I immediately catch myself and I'm like, okay, what do you need? Do we need to do a face mask today to make your skin more glowy so you're more confident? How about we put on a nice outfit that we absolutely adore and we step out of the house, feeling good? How about we have an everything shower to just really refresh and clean ourselves and make ourselves just feel super nice and hygienic for the day? Like, let's still eat a healthy breakfast and fuel our bodies because that's what we deserve. So you're not aligning with the thought. The thought is there, but you aren't aligning with it. You aren't entertaining it. You're not poking at it. You're not standing in front of the mirror for hours and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, oh, like I need to lose weight. I need to do this. I don't give myself time to do that. I do not give myself time to sit there and pick myself apart, whether it's about my career, whether it's about my social media accounts, whether it's about my body. I don't let myself do that. Even when I'm demotivated from posting, I still post because that's what the version of me who is aligned to her future self would do. That is the future of me who is confident and knows how to manage her emotions even in hard situations. So, truly, guys, I don't want you leaving this episode thinking that your negative thoughts are bad and that you need to get rid of them. We're so keen on get rid of it, like don't feel it, don't think about it, hide it. I don't think that. I think we need to approach ourselves with kindness. I think we need to approach ourselves with empathy. There are so many things in our bodies that could be happening that we don't even know about. There are so many things that go through our minds every day. Life can be a lot. Life can be stressful. I am not trying to deny that. But the way you approach that needs to be firm and strict, but also empathetic with yourself. Because trust me, tough love works, but not in the way everybody thinks it does. The more you align with negative thoughts, the more they're going to consume you. You know that saying, when it rains, it pours, and it's usually said in the term of like, when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed and then the rest of the day just unfolds in a negative way? That's not the universe's fault. That's your fault. if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed and you didn't decide to check in on yourself, you weren't like, ooh, maybe I need to spend 5 minutes stretching in the morning because my back really hurts. And then you're cranky and then you're upset and then you turn on the news and it's all negative. And then the first hour of your day is now disrupted and you feel stressed and you feel sad. And because you've now engaged in negative media first thing, you feel mad at the world. So then, you rush to get ready for the day and you step out of the house, you don't feel good, you're sad at work, you're mad at work, you're frustrated, everything's pissing you off. Do you see how that kind of elevates and snowballs and then makes everything worse? One tiny single negative thought can have that control over your life. But the cool thing about that is one tiny positive thought to cancel that out can also change your day around too. So, like I said, yeah, there are days when I'm just like, oh gosh, like I don't want to go to school. I don't want to show up today. I don't want to have my face on social media. I don't want people to see my account. But I do not align with those thoughts. Physically, I do not align with those thoughts. Mentally, I might be having them and I might be scared and I might be kind of insecure showing up, but I don't present that way. So then my brain is like, oh, she's not showing up and she's not entertaining this negative thought. Maybe we should just get rid of it and move on. And then not only do I not entertain the thought, but I feel better because then I'm actually doing things that align with me. And then it gives me more confidence to have a better day moving forward. I also want to talk about abandoning yourself. So I have talked about this a little bit in previous episodes, so I'm going to keep this really short and brief. But a lot of people tend to abandon themselves when things get really difficult. Like, everybody's really good at being positive and helping themselves when things are really good. When things get hard, you cannot abandon yourself. You cannot just let your mind run crazy. That's what happens when you just kind of check out. Your brain, you feel like you don't have control of your brain, you don't have control of your emotions, and that's a very scary and difficult thing to feel when you're already going through something hard and you need yourself there and you are just pushing yourself further away. So make sure that you guys are sticking with yourself. And yes, it's hard because nobody wants to. It's easier to just run away. But in the long run, continuing to take care of yourself, to love yourself, to show yourself that appreciation, even if it's showing up in a softer, smaller way, is so important. Chapter number 4 is tips on mastering your mind, because you guys know that I don't like leaving you without my best tips and advice, so you leave feeling confident and refreshed, not sad and degraded. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to mention is I want you guys to practice seeking out the good in the world. I know this sounds kind of cringy, but I really want you guys to start training your brain to see the good things. I was having a conversation with my mom, and we were kind of talking about things, and I noticed the conversation kind of getting a little bit negative, and I said, like, sometimes you can't change the circumstance. Sometimes you can't really change the environment that you're in currently, but you can change your perspective and you can change your thoughts. Start looking for the good, right? So I think a lot of us, this kind of goes in with the complaining. When you catch yourself in a negative thought, it's really important to, sometimes I don't want to go to work, but instead of entertaining that, I say, oh my gosh, I am so blessed that I get to wake up and I get to go to work and I get to make money. And, I'm so blessed that I get to work in a safe neighborhood. And you just start saying these things and you realize, like, oh my gosh, these thoughts have they have such a better impact on me than saying these negative things. And yeah, like, I might not be ecstatic for work, but you know what? I'm going to go into it with a good headspace and I'm going to be so blessed because there are so many people who would kill to be me and have my opportunities, and I'm not going to let that go to waste. Right? So sometimes it takes a lot of time, but you do have to start training yourself to see the good in the world and to see the good in people, because it gives you so much more light. It just takes this heavy weight off your shoulders when you're constantly judging other people, when you're constantly talking negatively and thinking about all the things that could go wrong. It's such a heavy weight to carry on you. But when you start saying, like, yeah, that person did me wrong, but you know what? I really pray that they are doing better. They're having a better life. they're succeeding because everyone deserves that, it makes you feel so much lighter. It makes you feel so much better. And when you start implementing that into your own life, you genuinely just feel like such a better person, and you have so much more control over your mind. It's easy to let our minds just kind of wander to a more negative thing and to just constantly think negative. It takes a lot of thought and willpower to actually say something positive after having a negative experience. So I really recommend it, and it truly does build so much self-trust and confidence. So if you haven't tried this already, please do. And secondly is think about the people who you look up to or admire when you're going through hard times. So like, what if they allowed themselves to think negatively all the time? They wouldn't be where they are today. Why? A lot of people fall in love with people and they admire people because they are strong and they've overcome adversity, right? We follow people because they're relatable. We love people because we connect to them. And there's a sense that makes us feel like we belong or we are going through the same things. And that's a very strong, powerful emotion to provoke in someone. Think about if the person you admired never went through the hardships that they went through. You wouldn't admire them as much. They would probably not even be an idol to look up to. And think about that way for yourself. You're on your own individual journey, and those experiences are crafting who you are, and you're going to be someone who people can admire and look up to one day. So I always think about that. I always think about the people who I admire and look up to so much, and I always think, you know what? This was hard for them too. They went through this too. They went through breakups too, right? They went through dry spells too with social media. They struggled with self-esteem as well. But they didn't let that become their identity. And look at who they are now. Look at how many people they're inspiring because they chose to be better for themselves. You can do that too. You have the power to do that for yourself, and you owe it to yourself. And number 3 is stop thinking the world is against you, okay? Because it's not. Plain and simple, the world is not against you. The world does not have it out for you. It's not trying to get you or make you feel bad. Life is happening to everybody in its own unique way. And I think that's what also makes it just so cool. And when bad things happen to you, it is always protection, it is always intervention, and you will always come out stronger and better and more knowledgeable. And I truly need you guys to just take a second and believe that, because it is so true. Even though, you lose someone who you didn't want to lose, or you go through something that made you so angry and you just never want to show up again, all of those things are happening to you for a reason. They're happening to you because they are meant for you, and they are meant to teach you this specific lesson at this time. So instead of trying to resist that, allow that to happen. And I know it's hard, but remember, don't abandon yourself through this and just allow it to happen. And lastly, don't neglect how you truly feel, okay? If you guys are having an off day, allow yourself to have an off day. It doesn't mean that you don't show up for yourself. It doesn't mean that you don't take off your to-do list. It just means that you're not trying to show up in a way that doesn't align with you that day. And you learn so much from yourself when you go through hard things, even if they're literally just in your mind. You don't have to be going through a physical problem to be struggling. It can be in your head. And so listen to what's in your head and figure it out and learn from that, because that is such a strong, powerful experience when you can do that. And I really recommend to everybody that you sit with your feelings and you feel them and you allow them to come and you allow them to be there, because they are there for a reason, and they're also things that are going to help teach you in the future. When you learn how to manage your mind, you become magnetic to the things you want in life. You build self-trust, and you can have confidence that the universe is working for you and not against you. This was your weekly reminder to learn, grow, evolve, inspire. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love you all so much, and I cannot wait to talk to you next week. Bye!